Yes, this is a little different. We have the actual camera. Is it the correct time of the day to be recording? No! I have vampire light because the sunlight is streaming in and it creates the vampire look. However, I got the proof copy, so we have to sit and talk about it. Decided to use the official camera instead of my crappy phone. Eventually I do plan to get a GoPro, so like it'll be a little bit better of quality than my phone. But for now, we're using the actual camera, and like, oh my god, you guys, it's here. My proof copy version 1 is here. So the hardback is coming. It took a little bit longer to ship and make, so that's coming like next week or something. And so today though, look at this beauty. It's not too big, but it's also, I feel like, not too small. It's a little over 400 pages. It was like 407. But like, dude, I wrote a book. Like, check this out. Every time I'm just, this is my favorite part in writing, honestly. Like, this stage is my favorite part, being an author. There's a joy that comes from hitting the end. There is a joy that comes from hitting publish and actually getting your link days or two later. But this part right here in the middle, almost at the end, is my favorite. Because once I hit publish, I never touch that book again. The closest is my trilogy. I have a 10-year anniversary planned. But other than that, like, I'm not touching them. And like, when it's published, it's done, and it now belongs to the readers. It's no longer mine. And the most is this book I will be using for myself as well when this time comes, because death happens, and honestly, I feel like the brain just checks out, and this is the book I have wanted to have for so long, and now it exists. Well, almost. I mean, it technically exists. It's now in physical form, but it's not quite ready for publication. I'm gonna have other people reading through this, but there's there's something about this point where you're almost there, and it's like this bittersweet of like, oh, it exists, and like you have this joy of like, oh my god, that thing I've been working on, hours upon hours of work, is now manifested into the physical. But then there's also this sadness that it's like, oh, the end is so close, I'm never gonna touch it again. Because again, I'm a firm believer that like, authors don't need to be in review spaces of their own books. That belongs to the readers. And like, sometimes like a reader might come up to you and talk to you, but for the most part, like, review space is for the readers, author space is a little different. I mean, sometimes you need to take into consideration things, but for the most part, like, you let that book go, it exists on its own, it has a life of its own. Think of it like your book is leaving the nest, and it's gonna go have its own life with other people, and it will mean different things to different people, and some will love it, some will hate it, some are gonna be indifferent, and that's okay. It's a standalone on its own now. And this is like, they're like maybe entering like high school or something, and like senior year, and you're like, the end is coming. You're gonna fly your wings soon. And like, publication day is like when they graduate and like move out and whatever. But for now, I don't have words, honestly. I'm just really happy with this. I think the cover turned out pretty good. And of course we have the banner of awful, because of course, and I'm still working on the paperwork for Barnes & Noble. But yeah, look at this. Isn't it beautiful? I'm just amazed. I absolutely love this. I can't believe I actually have a book this big on this topic, because my first two variations that I tried were so small. The first one was just the rituals, not even this many, and that was it. And then the next iteration, I added like a little blob explaining like what it was for, because apparently the title wasn't enough. And then I decided to do an actual full book. And this one covers not just rituals to do around this time, but also mundane steps that not everyone might know about. Some people will know, especially if you have been prepared for this, but sometimes like it just happens and you're not ready and you've never had to deal with it, and this can kind of help walk you through it. It's got important paperwork you need to go find, who to call, like kind of the steps and things to expect. And of course this is based off of American funerals. It's gonna be different around the world, obviously. But yeah, it's just, I'm so excited. I want people to want this book. I hope this will help a bunch of people. I think it will, honestly, if you give it a chance and you are into witchcraft. I think this is going to be a very helpful resource for people. And also, like, I can't believe I wrote that big of a book for witchcraft, honestly. Like, I'm still really amazed at that step of it, too. Because again, my first ones were little tiny pamphlets, and now this is like a legit, actual big book. It's not huge, but like, this is like, I don't know, I think it's gonna be really helpful. I hope that it's gonna be helpful to people. I tried to include a lot of information. This is definitely not for beginners, so if you are a beginner, this is not for you. This is for intermediate to advanced. You need to have some basic knowledge. Right after somebody dies is not probably the greatest time, like immediately following a death, to jump into learning witchcraft and like jumping into this kind of a book. You need to have some basic knowledge first, like how to visualize, how to cast a circle, how to create sacred space, like stuff like that. You're gonna need to know how to do that kind of stuff before you pick up this book. This is when you put those tools to a specific thing, and they're just outlines. You can change it as you need to, or you can follow it exactly. It's up to you. So anyways, that is enough of this rambling, but I just needed to let people know that it exists, and I'm so proud of it. It's so glorious. It talks about your options when you die. Like, it's just, it's gonna be absolutely magical. So when this does come out, I have decided to release a few chapters, not a whole lot, but a couple of them, as like an audio offering on my other channel, because it has more to do with that channel, my witchcraft channel. And I will let you guys know in like a community post when that is available, and I might even shout it out that week and let you know. But yeah, so anyways, here is my book, my 4th book. I'm very excited about it. I hope you're excited about it too. I'm not gonna have an outro card. I've just decided I'm just gonna end this because I kind of get sick of editing those, to be perfectly honest. So we're just gonna end this here. So make sure to check out this book, and until next time, well, actually you can't really check it out. Listen, follow along, and then when it's available, you can buy it. That's the thing, because I don't have pre-orders. So follow along, make sure you're here. If it's into August, it is available, and you can always find out on my blog. Once the links are available, they are posted there so that you can find it easily. So until next time, thank you for listening to my rambles and my squeals of joy at having my physical copy of my book here, and until next time, I'll see you all soon.